We'll go ahead and put
Order
an order there to
submitted.
buy above that. So we have, basically what I'm just seeing, double bottom at these lows here and here. Bear's been trying to go lower, and they're making all these attempts, and they just can't. And then we have this bull spike earlier in the day. We're still looking for it to get follow through from. So we're going to buy here. I'm going to put my stop right there. I'm going to go for 2 times my risk up. So we might have 2 trades set up at once here. This buy here, and this short here.
Order filled.
All right, so we're filled on the gold. I'm just going to put my stop below. Let me draw on 2 times my risk. So there we go. Put something like that. So I like that buy because I think the day ultimately is bullish. We have this spike at the start. We've had these multiple attempts to go lower through here, and the market just can't. And now we have a possible swing buy. So I think that's good to take. Now looking at the Emini, we might have 2 shorts. We might have 2 trades on it at once here, because I like the way this short is setting up. Now for me, just what my plan is, if I sell below this, I'm just going to go for 5 points. Basically, I'll just be trading down to the open of the day. I'll go ahead and prepare my order.
Submitted.
At some point, the market's going to want to try to test back down lower and get to the open of the day, and potentially see if there's more down. So we're going for five contracts on the Emini here. 5 contracts, 5 points. Look at this bull bar here. Closed above the moving average. It was looking good. Bad follow through. Second bull bar, bad follow through. Third. So they're trying to go higher, but they're failing to. And we had all the selling. Bulls are trying to go higher. They can't. We still have targets below to test. Let me peek over at gold. So gold got a good follow through bar. That's good. You can see our position size is much smaller than on the Emini, so I'm gonna pay more attention to the Emini over here. So I think going for 2 times your risk would be okay. Also, the way the bar looks and the way the setup is, I prefer just going for 5 points and basically just a test of the open. I still have a positive risk reward ratio here, so I'm risking 3 points and a tick to go for 5 points. So what we're wanting at a minimum is a close for this bar to close below the low of that bar. If it doesn't, then it's a bit of a concern for the trade. So Emini's looking fine. Looks like both trades are looking fine, kind of just meeting expectations. Last minute of the bar, anytime you have that last little bit of a bar, that's when you can have some bigger moves. Because, right, it's just like I was talking with like the weekly bar or the daily bar. Like on the weekly chart, the last day, both bulls and bears have goals of where they want to get to. So you can see some kind of odd rallies or sell-offs on that last day. And same thing on a 5-minute bar. That last minute, like I was saying, the bears want to close this below this low, and the bulls want to close it above. So they'll kind of fight over that last close. So really at a minimum wanting to close below that low. All right, we didn't get it. We closed at the low, so it's a little bit of concern. I'm gonna still hold on to the trade. Wait for more information. So gold, we had two. See, this is more what you want to see. You get a follow through bar closing above the high. The next follow through bar closing above the high. So that's good for gold. We're gonna, I think don't need to monitor that too closely. Anytime you have your reward, the greater that your reward is larger than your risk, the less you have to monitor it. But if you're doing something, this is more akin to a scalp, really, what I'm doing here. I'm just going for 5 points, so I want to manage it closer. With a swing trade like this, you kind of just let the odds play out. I suspect we're going lower here. We're starting to kind of stall right here, but look, we have the open of the day below. We have this big gap below, 200 moving average below. To me, the biggest thing is the open of the day. We've gone all this way. The market wants to get back and test that open. So gold getting kind of a bad follow through bar there. We'll wait to see how that closes. I think either, two things will happen today. We're either going to continue to sell off and we'll probably get below the 200 moving average and near the close of yesterday, or we'll kind of poke down a little bit, fail to go lower, and the bulls will rally into the end of the day. I don't expect us to stay in the trading range like down here for the rest of the day. I expect either we're going to break down or we're going to fail to go lower, then it's going to rally up. So if it closes something like this, that's fine. We'll just leave it on. Like I said, I do think it's going lower. If it turns into a bull bar suddenly in the last 30 seconds, I'll just get out, because I wouldn't want all that bullishness I wouldn't want there to be that much bullishness in the last 20 seconds. Okay, it's an inside bar. Still a bear body. Obviously, we want it to just go straight down. I think it's still okay to be holding short here. Check out gold. Big tail on the bottom. Probably good to still be holding there. Here's the breakout we're wanting. So really this should go straight down, or at least do it in 2 or 3 bars. And my biggest premise is just the market just wants to test the open of the day. So if it goes a little bit lower, I'll probably go ahead and move my stop to a couple ticks plus break even. So at this point, I think we should be fairly safe. We're either going to make a couple ticks or we're going to make the full 5 points. Flip over to gold real quick. Still kind of same thing there. It's unlikely the market's going to get this close and not come down further to the open. You know, we haven't had a good test of it the whole day. Velko, I'm glad you're watching the stream again. I know, in case anyone doesn't know, Velko helped set up the Discord, so big thanks to him on doing that. Trading lately, trading's been good. I haven't been doing too much with the trade copier. Just kind of been focused on, you know, doing the stream and trading my own account. So I'm gonna go ahead and move my stop to at least get a couple ticks here. You know,
target filled.
Cool. So got 5 points there. Go ahead and see my gold trade here. Yeah, so the gold, we had a much smaller position on gold here. So we're still on the swing buy. You know, I don't have a reason yet to get out, so we'll kind of monitor that. So the reason I took this trade, I think my biggest thing, really it's 2 things. We have the open of the day here that had not been tested yet. So open of the day, we rallied way up, and the market's coming back down. So as the market's heading down, it has this target, it has the moving average that's below, it has the close that's below, and it has then what the market's doing here, the bulls are trying to go higher, and they're unable to. You know, the bulls here, they think they've got it. I'll pull the chat up here. The bulls here, they think they've got it. They think they've got the bears trapped. They're going to go higher, and then they don't. They fail. They try again. They fail. I almost shorted this bar for the same reason. I think I was kind of out of the room at the time, and I was just coming back, and I saw that bulls failed one more time, and then good looking bear bar. They're probably going to give up, and ultimately, that's what they did here. You know, anytime you see a big bar like this, after multiple attempts like this, that's a give up bar. So the bears, the bulls were long all through this, and then they just got out. So this is both bears shorting, and it's bulls getting out of their longs. So they're selling through here as well, which is what creates this bar. Manny, thank you. Velko, thank you. I'm glad I was able to show, as you know, that trade example. Do I always keep my risk the same? Well, based on the strategy, yes. So if I'm taking a trade like this, we'll always keep the risk the same, um, roughly the same. So if I'm taking like this trade, I'll trade with 5 contracts, and basically I'll just put my stop above that bar. So that was maybe 3.5 points, 3 points or so. So I don't want to risk much more than 5 points. So like if this bar was, I would take this short, but if it was much bigger than this, then I'd hold off. So my risk is the same. My risk is roughly the same based on the strategy I'm using. So if I'm doing more of a scalp trade, like a limit order, like I talk about some limit order trades you can do, then drop your risk down to like 20% of what it should be. Drop it down 20% to what your full position size would be. So like here, if I'm trading, if 5 contracts is like my normal size, then when I'm scalping and plan to maybe scale in, then I'll drop that down to 1 contract, or you guys will see me go down to micros sometimes. So if you have like whatever your like premium setup is, then go for your full size. But if you're doing some like limit order scalping and you plan to scale in, you need to trade smaller, like 20% or less. Zach's, great job. Are you using some indicators except EMAs? No. So I just have the 20 moving average and the 200. And that's really all you need. I mean, that's all I need for my strategies. I think anything else might just be a distraction. I can these moving averages give me plenty of context, and so with the information I get from the bars, I can see who's winning, who's losing. And the moving averages just kind of provide extra context. They provide extra support and resistance. So it's kind of the sweet spot for me. Gold trade still on. So why did we take this gold trade? Let me get rid of some of so the day started off bullish. We had this big spike, and when I get a spike like that, I like to expect a measure move up. Something like up here. So that sets a target for the day. Now, even if we go through all this, the market, this target stays there. So all the funds, the hedge funds, all the expert traders, they know that this target's up there. So it's good that we have a target above. It gives the market something to reach for. So I took the swing trade because that was one reason we had a target up there. Other reasons, we had this double bottom here, so low here, and after that double bottom, bulls got above the moving average, and the bears tried to go lower and they couldn't, and then you got a good looking bull bar. So bears have tried to go lower, they can't. We're above the moving average now with a good bull bar, and we have targets above, so I like that as a swing trade. So bears finally just pushed the market lower, and now we're getting to all these targets I've been talking about, the 200 moving average, the close of yesterday, we're almost there. And you can see all this, there's all this like built up selling pressure through here. And as you gain experience, you can kind of see how that selling pressure is starting to build up, and then kind of the bulls and bears both kind of realize without telling each other that the market's going down, the bulls get out, the bulls sell their positions, the bears short, and it just creates this big breakout like this. So this is what I was talking about, where I thought we were either going to have a big sell-off, or the market was going to poke through a little bit and then rally up. And it looks like we're going to be having this sell-off. This is how the daily chart looks right now, and I'll pull up the weekly chart because it's Friday, so the weekly chart is more important on a Friday. So this is how the weekly chart looks right now. The bears want this bar to close as low as it can to just increase the bearishness for next week. How many sellers are there below this bar right now? Probably not too many because of this big tail. probably more buyers below, knowing that they can like buy here and scale and lower. So there's probably some buyers below here. But if they can close near its low, then the bulls that bought through here probably, a lot of them probably get out. Or how many buyers are there above this bear bar? Probably not too many right now because of the size of this bear bar. But if they can shrink this bear bar and have a big tail on the bottom, or even get a bull bar, then there'd be more buyers above it. So that's why it's important for both sides to try to get what they want by the end of the day on Friday, so they can set their positions up well for the next week. Let me pull the trade back up there. So this gold trade, I have no indication yet to get out. Would I get out below a bear bar closing near its low? Yes. I'm not so convinced that this is just going to be going up. So, if I have a good reason to get out, then I'll go ahead and just get out. I will, however, go ahead and move my stop up here. So at a minimum, now we're going to just get at least a couple ticks out of it. So this is another swing buy above this. So it's good that it's triggered, because that means there were some buyers above that. So now we just have more people kind of piling onto the trade. So I'm going to move my stop up even further. I mean, I wouldn't want it to pull back to this point. So if it pulls back here, something's probably wrong with the trade, so I don't want to get out there. So this is starting to get more movement up. Once again, I'm going to trail my stop up. I was kind of happy yesterday. I took my first trade on the soybean chart. I had sold. We had this sell off, and I figured there'd be sellers above this bar, so I just shorted and got a scalp. So I was excited yesterday that was kind of a fun trade. It was my first time trading with soybeans. I made a quick video on that. It's kind of a boring video, but I just thought it was cool to just trade with something like soybeans. All right, I'll watch the Emini for a bit here. I'm going to go to the 2000 tick chart. So anytime you start to see like a trend like this and a big sell-offs, I like to go to the lower time frame to try to look for swings on a lower time frame. And it's never going to be perfect. So we see this pullback here, this is bear bar, pullback here, bear bar. Sometimes when you take those, you're going to get this big swing down. Sometimes when you take those, you're gonna get stopped out, and that's just kind of how it is. But I think especially if you have a target down here. So the target here would be this yesterday's close. So at 55. So there's your target. So if you're starting to sell off, you're breaking down below these lows. If the 5-minute chart's starting to look like this, then pullback, bear bar. You have a target below, go ahead and try to get a swing down from that. So put your stop there. You can put your stop order below to sell, and it would be the same thing here. you know, and I tell you that, and if you go do it, you're probably going to be, of course, probably the first time you try it, you'll be stopped out. But um, you just kind of have to let the odds play out. That like I do think like these shorts would be good trades. So like, what's two things you want to be happening? You want the larger time frame to be trending down. You want there to be a target below, so the market has something to have a goal, like it's wanting to get there. And then you want a bear bar after a pullback. It's better if you get it to the moving average, but when you're in this spike phase where it's just going straight down, then your pullbacks aren't going to be very deep. So now, of course, we didn't take this trade because we just got out of one and we were looking at gold. But the market's starting to break out. It's trending down. There's a target below. Pullback, good looking bear bar. I think that's a good short. So looking at this move up now, it's starting to look more likely that we might be able to get up here. So I don't know, we might actually extend this limit order up here since this is going to be a target. We'll see. Emini has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 9 or 10 bars now where the high of the bar has been lower than the previous high. So it's almost like it's just stair stepping down. And when you get that, usually the first time it goes above a bar, there's sellers above it. So if this bar went above this bear bar here, there's probably enough for a scalp above that. So if I was to take that, I would, trade at least 20% of what my normal position size is. I'd probably trade even smaller because these bars are starting to get large. So, I might go for more like 10% of my normal position size. So sell here, scaling higher as long as the premise is still valid that we're going lower. So looking at this most recent bar on gold, a good thing is that it closed above the previous high, so it closed above this. But it didn't close above this high over here, so it's not as strong as it could be. If we get a bear bar like this, I'll just go ahead and get out below it. Just peeking over at crude. A lot of overlapping bars, a lot of tails, so I'd be staying out of anything on crude. Yeah, so if this bar closes like this or worse, then I'll just be getting out of it. like I've been saying, one good thing about managing your trade. So I don't really need to get out below this bar. It's more of a doji bar now, so it's not enough to get out. I will just go ahead and get out below it, but one good thing about managing your trade is like placing your stop, moving it up like that. You know, the two scenarios. One is that it goes down and reverses all the way down here. If that happens, you know, obviously it's better to just keep your risk small. So by doing this, you're avoiding large sell-offs. You're avoiding large losses, but you're also still maintaining the ability to get a large profit. So I have my stop here. A lot of the times I'm going to be stopped out here. Sometimes it won't. Sometimes it'll just keep on going straight up. So you allow yourself to keep your risk small while giving yourself the chance to still have a large winner. After this trade is over, I'm going to go and be getting off the stream. So if you guys have any questions, let me know before I head off. Emini, we pull up the weekly chart. So once again, the bears are trying to sell this off as much as they can to create this bigger bear bar to try to spook out the bulls for next week. And the bulls, honestly, what might happen? This sell-off, I don't think, it's not going to stay this tight sell-off the rest of the day. I could definitely see this at some point transitioning into a trading range and then reversing back up and testing this open before the day's over. So I think there's a good chance that we'll still have a 15, 20 point move up before the end of the day. So we have 2.5 hours. I think there's a good chance we'll have that move up. Now this is a lot of selling happening here, but under the right circumstances with the right setup over here, I could see that pulling back. Because the bulls, they don't have to step in until the last 30 minutes. Even if the market gets like all the way down here, the bulls could step in, and in 30 minutes they could rally it back up here. So that's just kind of a possible scenario. All right, so we got a really good follow through bar here. Yeah, at this point, so if I had traded with 2 contracts here, I would leave 1 contract here and I would move the other up to our target higher up. It's fine to leave it here. I think this has been so bullish. I think I will go ahead and move it up higher. Because like I've been talking about, everyone that's in the market that knows what's going on, they see this target, and that's up there. So I'm gonna leave my stop where it is. So I think, at this point, basically, Either I get stopped out here with a decent win, or the market's gonna come up here. So those are the two scenarios now. I'm gonna be right back. All right, so we haven't been stopped out yet. If the market was to go below this bear bar, then I would go ahead and get out. Otherwise, I'm still good holding on long here. See, the Emini took a big plunge here, and then big reversal back. We're getting pretty far below the moving average, but what a lot of funds here will do, there'll be a lot of sellers above this bar, and they'll just scale in higher. So, I mean, you can do that as well if you're trading small enough. But, these bars are getting to be pretty large. We're getting near the end of the day on a Friday. It's probably better to just avoid trying to do any trades that would rely on scaling in. So what's the market going to do here? Is it better to buy this bar or buy above, or is it better to sell the close? I think either side can make money during this. So the market got, so this bear bar, this is the largest bear bar in the trend. It's the largest bar late in the trend. So when you get that, that often means it's getting overextended, it's oversold, and we can see what happened is the market actually bought this close. So it's the biggest bear bar of the day, but the close got bought. It's far from the moving average. It's late in the trend. So anyone that had sold through here, they're saying, wow, I had already made money, and then now I made an extra 13, 14 points in 5 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and just take profits. Well, now at this bull close, I think people could sell it and scale in higher, or people could buy it and just make money if it goes up. And if it goes lower, we'll probably have enough of a trading range through here that they could buy more lower and just scale in. So I think either side can be making money during this. I would recommend that beginner traders do not do that. Do not trade this. We have large bars. It's large risk. It's near the end of the day. And I think it'd probably get too complicated and have too much risk for most traders to trying to get fancy in here and try to be like selling this close or buying this close. So through here, I mean, to me it was clear what was happening, which is why we took that short. And once it becomes unclear, it's better to sit off to the side. Although that being said, I do think either side could make money if they're just trading small and scaling in here. Zach's had a question. What about order flow? Are you using it? So no, I don't use anything else. Um, don't use volume. Don't use indicators. All the information you need, it's in these bars. So no, I don't use anything else. Indicators. They're just They're just pulling data from these bars, anyways. That's what the indicators tell you. So I'd rather be able to read. Indicators give you these these false signals, and now of course if someone has a system that works and they use indicators, well, that's fine. I'm not gonna speak against them trying to do that if it's working for them. But all those indicators are just pulling the data from this chart here, and I think people will be better off learning how to trade just the bars themselves instead of trying to rely on an indicator or something else to tell you how to trade. Let's pull up gold. All right, so gold is getting another breakout here. So like I said, I think if I had taken this trade with 2 contracts, I would have basically just be getting out here, because that was around 2 times our risk. Yeah, so if I had traded with 2 contracts, I would go ahead and get up with a 1 here, and I would be holding the other one to go up here. But since I just have 1, I can't really split it up any, so I'm fine with how I have it here. I'm either going to get it stopped out below this, or it's going to continue up, and we'll get the profit up here. But yeah, I could definitely, if I had multiple contracts, I would be getting out of some on the close of this bull bar, or at our profit spot here. I think this is a good example of, you don't need to trade that large to be able to get larger profits. One contract in gold, $10 a tick, $100 a point. If you can catch a swing trade like this, then you can see what the profit potential is with just 1 contract. So this breakout's good. It's closing above these highs here, and it's closing above this breakout point over here. I'm kind of concerned that we will have a pullback here, and this moving average, it's not going to catch up fast enough for this to be above where our stop order is. We can pull back to the moving average, but the moving average is going to be down here somewhere. The moving average kind of acts as like a net, like a safety net, and I'm wanting this moving average to be like, because right now we have our floor here and we're falling. If we fall, we're going to hit the floor first before the this safety net comes up and kind of catches us. You say, I can't imagine trading without volume, profile, and order flow. I hear people saying that, like, how could you possibly, they can't imagine trading without a volume. Once again, if that works for them, then that's great. That's I won't tell them to do something else, but um, that's not how I trade. That's not what I rely on. If you watch these streams, I'll talk about all sorts of different things about what the market's doing, and if you watch it, you'll say, yeah, I mean that makes sense. That's there's only buyers and there's only sellers in the market, and they both have their own goals, and they kind of fight and try to find the fair price, throughout the day. And so if you watch, there's a lot of little things that will make a lot of sense. Uh, while we're here, while we're waiting for this gold to play out, I'll show what we have on the Discord. Um, we have a couple sections here. We have this just chatting section, which is, I we kind of talk about a few different things in here. Um, but I think post your trades is more popular. We can see, uh, you know, what I want this to look like is for you guys to post your trades in here and show your wins or show your losses, and then you can get feedback from myself. Um, you can kind of get support from other traders, or you guys can discuss like setups you've seen and what you think about it. Sometimes if I'm not streaming, I'll go ahead and post a trade in here. So at this point, this is where I took this limit order buy. I said I expect more up on the Emini. So let me go to that price. So that was right here. So if you were present in the Discord, then you would have gotten this notification about this. And you could have seen where I had my limit order, and I got filled here. And like I said earlier, I kind of wimped out and I got out at the close of this bar with a small profit. But it would have been reasonable to hold for your scalp up here. So that's an example. Like if you were in the Discord, you could have seen that and taken advantage of it. And throughout the day, if I'm not streaming, I'm always happy to answer any questions about any trading questions you guys have. Also here, this is where we show where when I post a video, you'll get notified here to see, so you can go check out the video. Like I said yesterday, I had fun making this soybean trade. It was my first time trading a soybean future. So that was kind of it was a good, you know, the trade made sense, but it was kind of, I was just having fun with this, doing the this soybean contract. Anyway, welcome. So looks like Impresso and Christoph joined the Discord today. So welcome guys to the Discord. So Margaret's making another attempt down here on the Emini. Back to our gold trade. We have a minute left. If this bar closes like it does now, I'll get out below it. Right now, it's gold is acting inversely to the Emini. So as we're having this sell-off, gold is going up. Then as we get this pullback, then gold is going down. So probably going to be stopped out here. It's probably going to be the end of the gold trade. I don't think you have to get out here. You know, we could probably expect a couple legs of a pullback now after we've had this much up and we're far from the moving average. Hey Zax, what do you normally trade? Do you trade the Emini, or do you trade like stocks or forex or crypto? So probably going to be stopped out here.
Stop filled.
All right, stop filled. So we bought down here for a swing up. We held it all through here. Probably could have held it longer. Probably didn't need to get out there, but I think it's okay to get out. And you know, get out there. All right, guys. Well, I said I was going to trade Emini, gold, and euro. Yeah, you know, I have the euro as well. I don't really take many trades in it. But when I do the futures for it. Yeah, that's we're gonna go ahead and end the stream, and you guys have a good rest of your day.